This has been an unboxing of the Gigabyte H77 D3H MVP motherboard. So, what do we have? We've got 3D power digital engine, a 3D BIOS, dual UEFI BIOS. We've got support for the third generation Intel Core i series of processors on socket 1155. H77 chipset, PCI Express Generation 3 support, but you need a compatible CPU to get Gen 3 bandwidth. Virtua MVP, hence the MVP in the product model. mSATA on board, so you can put in a mSATA SSD, and you can use Intel SRT to set up a cache drive. Windows 8 ready, even though that no one cares if something's Windows 8 ready, because no one wants Windows 8. Ultra Durable 4. Humidity protection, electrostatic protection, power failure protection, high temperature protection, and new glass fabric PCB. Best Tech Award winner since 2007, number 1. Bunch of PC Authority awards. We turn to the back and we get to see a few more bits of information about what this motherboard has to offer. Now, this isn't a high-end motherboard by any stretch. As you can see, it has a blue PCB, and Gigabyte's higher-end boards, more intended for the gaming systems, do have a matte black PCB, but this is more than powerful enough to power a pretty basic system. That it does have a lot of I/O and a lot of connectivity, so it does make it quite a good purchase. So what we've got digital power, the 3D power engine, 3D BIOS, humidity protection, electrostatic protection, power failure protection. They do have the dual BIOS chips, as Gigabyte motherboards have had for a while. High temperature protection. We've got Intel Smart Response with the SSD caching, and all sorts of features. At the bottom we can see it's got the onboard 333 acceleration, which they brought out with their second generation of X58 motherboards. That's USB 3.0 at 4.8 gigabits per second. 3 times the USB power spec, so you can charge a device like a phone or a tablet a lot faster, because there's more power going through the USB ports. And we've got SATA version 3 at 6 gigabit per second. All Japanese capacitors, dual UEFI BIOS, on-off recharge, so even if the computer is off but still plugged in, you can charge your phone and other devices. We've got HDMI out, DVI, and DirectX 11, and 108 decibel signal to noise ratio from the onboard sound. So let's get this board out of its box. Let's take a proper look. You can see a Gigabyte warranty commitment, a little bit of information, basically saying if you're in Australia and you buy this product according to the new ACCC regulations and the new laws, that you do get a 3-year warranty on this board, which in previous Gigabyte motherboards around the X58 days, you only got 3-year warranties in the US and Canada. Gigabyte first world record 7.089 gigahertz with the Z77X UD3H. Okay, this isn't a Z77X UD3H, but yeah, thanks for that. Got a quick start guide manual with a driver disk. Download the latest drivers off the Gigabyte website. Multilingual installation guidebook. Got a Gigabyte powered sticker. I/O shield plate, which, because this is a low-end motherboard, isn't color coded. It's just a bit of metal. We've got 2 SATA 6 gigabit per second cables that are blue, and another 2 which are black. So we take this cardboard separator out. Let's close the box down so we have a static-free surface to put the motherboard on. Okay. They have changed their blue slightly. I think it seems to be a little bit more of a darker blue since their previous generation motherboards. But as you can see, we can see the PCI Express lane setup. So you've got a PCI Express X1, then a full PCI Express 3.0 X16 at 16 bandwidth, 2 more PCI Express 1Xs. This is a PCI Express 16X lane, but it is only wired up to 4x as it says on the side here. So you wouldn't want to populate a graphics card in this particular slot. And then you have 2 more PCI ports for legacy devices if you do need them. On the bottom we can see the front panel audio header connection, which in some previous Gigabyte motherboards has been right behind the rear panel audio, which means you have to have done some weird cable management to get the front panel audio hooked up. We have a system 4-pin connector, COM port, USB 2 header, another USB 2 header, and another USB 2 header, making the total up to 3 USB 2 headers, which means 6 USB ports of that. We've got TPM, we've got front panel connections, we've got SATA ports, and there's some things saying SATA 2, yes. This SATA port is deactivated when you run the mSATA. We've got 2 SATA 6 gigabit per second ports. We've got the USB 3 front panel header, 24 pin, another 4-pin system PWM. Just turn the motherboard around. And then we've got the dual channel memory support. Move to the top, we've got the CPU 4-pin. We've got another 4-pin for system fan. It's nice to see a Gigabyte including a lot of 4-pin fan headers on this board. We've got an 8-pin CPU power connector, although if you were putting in a low-end processor on this, you probably wouldn't even need 8-pin power. On the back panel, we've got VGA, DVI, we've got HDMI out, we've got 4 USB 3 ports, 2 USB 2, Gigabit LAN, and another 2 USB 2 over there. We also have 7.1 channel HD audio on the back panel. Thanks for watching the unboxing of the Gigabyte H77 D3H MVP motherboard.